let's go into your reading. First of all, I'm going to talk about this first because this was something that really stood out to me, and then I'm going to talk about, the rest of it. And I I'm pretty much using the same spread. It's just, laid out differently because the cards all fit on screen because they're smaller. And this will help me, get like a common theme or a common thread running through the cards. So let's just do that. So the third cluster here, we have the Death card and the Knight of Swords. So first of all, what I'm feeling overly is with the Knight of Swords. This is somebody who is an air sign, possibly an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. This is somebody with a personal vendetta, and I do feel their energy is coming in quite aggressively. They are trying to stir up trouble, and they are itching for a fight. If you are dealing with this person as an ex, as a troublemaker in your company, or as somebody who's like trying to, smear your bad name, this is somebody who's looking for a fight. And, I feel like a lot of you are very, very calm, and it takes a lot for somebody to like really push you over the edge. But once you get upset, um, it comes out in a very, very bad way. So it would be foolish for somebody to get you upset. And I do sense one of the things that you want to be careful about is I feel like there's a bad energy about this person, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. It's somebody in the minor scheme of things. They might just be argumentative. They might just be like, try to nitpick, or they try to like pick your brain, or they try to like be contrary to whatever you say, just because they want to have like a leg up intellectually. So it's somebody who's not like the best, they don't have like the best etiquette, the best manner, and the things that they say might be very, very abrasive. And I feel a tendency for nosiness, somebody trying to get involved in your business. And I feel like this is somebody that has been around for quite some time, so you know exactly who they are. And I feel like this is the month in which you are going to have to cut some ties here and to really give them a piece of your mind, because I feel like their energy is very pesky. It keeps coming back in. And I feel like many, many times before you have tried to make nice, you have tried to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I feel that you should literally just turn your back on this situation, because it's not going to be pretty. Because I feel like they're just argumentative. They're just, bad mannered, and a little bit jealous, a little bit of an instigator. That's what I'm sensing, a little bit of an instigator. And that can be, sun, moon, or rising, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And I also feel like they're giving you pieces and bits of information just to rile you up. So, like for example, this came to mind, so I feel like it might apply to somebody. But I almost feel like you're dating somebody, right? And then somebody is jealous, and they're just like, hey, did you know that he or she did this? He or she has been with all these people. And they're telling you things that does not concern them in order to add fuel to a situation. So, keep that in mind. What I'm also getting as well is that if you are somewhat like romantically linked in with this person, obviously, you feel a certain way about them, and you might try to like really defend them in the past, or you might have always tried to, give them the benefit of the doubt. But I do sense this for this month, especially, things are boiling over. There is going to be some type of conflict and confrontation coming through. And I feel like you are not in a position to take it lying down. You are going to have to intervene here, and you are going to have to be the one to decide, which direction is this going. So you might need to sever ties, or you might need to, distance yourself, or you might need to, just like fight it out with this person and put them in their place. So I feel something boiling over, and I do feel like the relationship after this month might not be the same. So that can be good or bad depending on how you choose to handle this. And it also depends on, how pesky they are on the annoyance level, spectrum. If they're mild, then I feel like that's fine. But I feel there's an element here of somebody being nosy. a little bit of an instigator, itching for a fight, wanting to cause discord between others. And it's not I feel like it's somebody who might be jealous. I'm sensing a lot of envy coming from this person. And obviously, you know, it's a night, but it can be male or female, okay? And Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, sun, moon, or rising. So that's coming through. So having said that, let's go back to the beginning. So we have here the Hierophant and the High Priestess. And it's funny because, you know, they're counterparts of each other. The masculine energy, the feminine energy, the energy that is very straightforward, that is kind of like my way or the highway. And then the other person who is very good at manipulating things behind the scenes, getting people to do what she or he wants without like going this route. So you have very, very opposing energy, and it is really important for you to straddle the middle ground here. Okay. So I rarely see these come out in a combination, and they're both major arcana cards. And what I'm sensing here is, you know, there is a right way, and well, what I'm feeling here is that I do sense for a lot of you, you're kind of like this person, you know, you're kind of like what you see is what you get. You're very clear when you talk. You're very strong when you articulate your needs, your thoughts, your emotions. And I feel almost like you feel like you have firm grip on everything. Okay. And then there is that shadow side. When things are not going your way, you might withhold information in order to get the other person to, you know, see only what you're seeing, like selectively choose what information to give out. You might be hiding things behind the scenes, or you might be like, you might want something. And then if you face opposition, you might choose to, you know, use like reverse psychology. It's almost like, oh, I don't really want that. And then the other person doesn't want it. And then you go after what you want. So there's this energy coming through here very, very strongly. And this is the card of Taurus, the Hierophant here. So I feel like they're telling you, you know, try to straddle this fine line and always try to do things because like without, you know, reverting to covert ways, covert operations, because things are going to be revealed. Okay. It's sort of like, you know, actions, consequences, and whatever is not forthright and righteous and, you know, just morally on the up and up, it is going to be found out, and it's going to be revealed in a way that can be very detrimental. So actions, consequences. And I almost feel like instant karma, you know, things hidden being brought to light, and people being admonished, and people like being shamed and chastised. Okay. So there's a very severe element here of karma. Be very, very careful what you say as well, how you say things. So take a moment when you feel yourself getting upset, just take a moment and really think about, you know, like, what good is it going to do if I, you know, reveal this information? What good is it going to do if I take this course of action? And either way, if you find yourself emotionally riled up, just be very mindful of what you say, especially if you're in a capacity where there are a lot of things, a lot of people in your environment, and things are like going on the record. So for those of you in the public arena where you have a lot of political or even religious sway over others, you have a huge influence over others, what you say is going to be documented. So, you know, make sure that things are like, what you want to say are the only things that come out, and those are the things that are going to be, you know, on the record. So keep that in mind. And then for others, if you're dealing in a capacity where you're just like, okay, you're telling somebody something very important and you feel like you can trust them, and you're telling them like, okay, just between you and me, off the record, think very, very carefully about what you're planning to say and who that person is. Make sure you trust them 100%, because I do sense there's going to be some type of, you know, things coming back to haunt us. So just make sure if that is something that needs to be said at all. Okay. The other element I am feeling strongly here is there is some news coming through from third party to disrupt a family unit. News coming through from third party to disrupt a family unit. And I do feel third party involvement here with the Three of Cups. as well as like, you know, some type of flirtation, somebody that is eyeing somebody who is already married. Okay, so that is going to play out in a myriad of ways, but I feel like a lot of you might be like Tauran people, married, coupled up with another person, and then there's a third party wanting what you have. So I do sense that coming through, and I want you to like be very careful. And you know, you chose who you chose for a reason, and I don't feel a lot of you tread lightly when it comes to selecting partners. You are quite selective. You are a fixed sign as well. So I feel that, you know, you really, really check out your partner before you allow them into your life, right? So there is that sense of like, you know, you have that basis, that foundation of trust. So if you're hearing things coming through from third party, don't take it as, you know, the truth. Have a conversation with your partner. So, you know, don't jump the gun, don't like, I guess the right word would be, don't believe everything that you hear. So I feel like this energy might even be in your favor, where, you know, you might use like reverse psychology and just be like, no, I'm not with that person. And then see what comes out. And then, you know, whatever comes out, then you can decide what you feel about the person that's delivering you the information. Because I do see a lot of gossip, a lot of tendency for like jealousy, people not getting what they want, and then they feel like they need to take more aggressive actions to, you know, disrupt things and to get what they want. So all of those things are coming through. And I feel like for some of you, this might even be on the work front, where people might be vying for the same positions. And there are some underhanded tactics that are used that's not honorable. But just keep in mind, just because your opponent or whoever in your environment is doing that, it doesn't mean you have to resort to it, because their indiscretions are going to be found out. So you want to just, you know, make sure you're doing what you do. Don't stoop to their level. And especially if you're the one that is doing something you're not supposed to, things will come out in the wash. Okay, so this is going to be a warning month. Okay, so just actions and consequences. And whatever you do, if you're not doing something that is ethical, or if you're doing something clandestinely, I feel like even if things don't get uncovered this month, they will be further down the line. So, you know, especially I'm seeing like, I'm seeing July and I'm seeing February. And that's, you know, right around the corner as well. So don't do something you would regret. Okay, that I'm just going to leave it at that, and let's move on. The second cluster of cards that I have here is the Knight of Cups as well as the Three of Cups. Both of these are very, very positive energy. The Three of Cups indicates like social functions, social circle expanding, professional contacts as well. And just overall, I feel like professional, social, and love, romantic interests. And there are many, many opportunities to link up with other people, to network, to have a lot of social events, outings, and things like that. I mentioned a lot of you are cocooning, and you are like entertaining guests in your home as well. And I do feel that that's a better way to go in order to contain and keep your circle of friends and associate very, very small. If you are going out a lot, if you are over, you know, over, like if you are going out a lot and you're in an environment with like the same groups of people, just in different outings, there's going to be a little bit of like, I feel gossip, things that you run across, things that you hear. And, you know, the alcohol is flowing. People tend to get a little bit chatty. So take what you hear with a grain of salt. And honestly, I feel that a lot of you are over it, and you're just not going to entertain people who gossip. And you're just going to stick with the people that are nice, trustworthy, and, you know, are drama free. So there's that element as well. And I do sense it's going to be very good for you to be very selective about where you are devoting your time and whom you are devoting your time to, because there is cause for jealousy, gossips, and things like that. Okay. I do see a lot of cattiness in this, this spread. And it's like a lot of just, you know, negative energies. So just try to keep your environment clear. Try to surround yourself with people that are actually good for you, because I feel like You're going to know by the end of this month who your friends are, who your true friends are. Okay. And that's always a good thing. But, you know, the whole process of sorting out who our friends are, it might be a little bit painful. It might be regrettable that we have to let some people go. But I feel like, you know, once in a while, things have to get shaken up in order for the right things to fall into place. Okay. So I've already talked about this. I'm going to move right ahead to your financial situation. We have the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles usually indicates to me some type of a person who is self-employed. Okay, so this is like working on a client base, working on a commission base as well. You might have a base salary, but you're building more revenue on top of it. Or you could be a business owner running for, you know, like having your own business, having your own assets, and having your assets work for you. So I feel like financially things are very, very good. There's a lot of competition in your midst to secure clients, to secure contracts. You might be dealing with somebody who's a little bit devious, and they're coming through in order to like compete with you. In that way, on the financial front, the competition is fierce, but I do sense like it's stable and it's going to be good, especially for those of you who are shifting from, you know, traditional work, like working for somebody else, doing the 9 to 5, and you're shifting into the client-based, you know, world, or you are working, like shifting from being employed to self-employment. There are going to be competition, so you need to make sure like you know what you're doing so that your product stands out above others, because I feel like the market might be saturated with what you're doing. So you're going to have to find that special niche. You're going to have to find that special thing that only you can do so that you can market yourself in using that angle. Okay, it's going to be very beneficial for you. I do see fierce competition. I do see some troublemakers going through to undermine you, but I do sense you're going to have a lot of financial success. So the top row here looks very favorable. It's kind of like having access to some inside information that is going to allow you to have like a little bit of, I guess like it's going to steer you in the right direction. You're going to know where to end relationships and when to move forward. A lot of you, I feel like there is temptation coming through from third parties outside of your environment. And they're pretty much telling you, if you go for it and you're attached to somebody, you want to be careful. If you go for it and you're attached to somebody, you want to be careful, because I feel like people around are going to talk. And then likewise, if you are attracted to somebody and you're trying to make a move, find out their marital status before you make a move, because like you might be a little bit too starry-eyed and not see that they have a ring on their finger. And you know, a lot of the times we see somebody that we really like, we just assume that they're single, right? So it's just kind of like, you know, that tunnel vision. Be careful, because I do sense here flirtations that start out very innocently. And I do see somebody potentially linked up, like, you know, they're either married or something like that with this first row. And then there's conflict. So keep that in mind in social functions, especially when, you know, alcohol is flowing and things like that. So let's go into your advice cards here. We do have the Sun, which is a very, very positive card that indicates like mutual rapport, seeing eye to eye with another person and linking yourself up to strengthen yourself, like strength in numbers type of an energy. This can be overall, you know, increasing, enhancing the kind of like the connections that you feel with other people, either social groups, professional networks, or romantic interests. Okay, it's a very happy, abundant card. What's linked up with it as well is a lot of communication back and forth coming between you and another person. If you are dealing with, I feel like fire signs or air signs, I'm going to do your love reading later, but what I do sense is a lot of communication here, a lot of opportunities for success, and I feel like opportunities are coming through, and you need to be very, very fast. You need to, like, you know, drop what you're doing and grab these opportunities. So don't try to sort things out. I feel like it's best for you to keep running towards that direction, because we're going to have a lot of success, and these opportunities are coming through very, very quickly. It's going to bring you a lot of success. It's going to bring you a lot of happiness as well. And I feel like you might, you might be slow, like a little bit, you might overanalyze, overthink. You might be a little bit slow on the uptake and you might not see these things, or you might be hesitant, but there are a lot of opportunities coming through, especially too for investment opportunities. Like having a lot of access to privy information and then deciding what you need to go do with it. But you need to be very, very swift and fast on the uptake. What I do sense as well, there is going to be some clearing up of karma. That can be good or bad. We have the star card, which is like spiritual, emotional healing. It is also a wish card. So definitely if you've been eyeing somebody, I do feel there is reciprocity in terms of love, affection, and things like that. But if you are in a relationship eyeing somebody, or if you're eyeing somebody who is in a relationship, there's still going to be reciprocity. But it is going to lead to conflict, ethical dilemmas, and all of these things will be, found out further down the line. I don't sense it's going to be pretty. So be very mindful about actions and consequences, okay? Financially, things look really good. I honestly just want to say that, this is going to be a phenomenal month for a lot of you if you've been doing things by the book. If you're where you're supposed to, if you're doing what you're supposed to, and if you don't care what other people are doing, you just do you're going to have a phenomenal month, because I do see success. I see financial increases. And I do see gossip and, like troublemakers, but if you keep at it, you're going to have a very, very phenomenal month. But on the other hand, there's like, clearing up of old karma, which means unearthing a lot of information. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing,